the self-defense cane. This is senior self-defense training with the self-defense walking cane. It's not just for seniors, it can be for anybody who wants to have the gray man or the gray woman option. A walking cane can be carried with you wherever you go. Some people use it every day for a mobility device. It's a health device. The point is you could defend yourself with it. Using it in the hand like this is a good warm-up. Your hand is closed. You're just cranking it around. This is not used to defend yourself with. This is just a proper warm-up to get the blood flowing, to build the callus in the hand so that when you're ready, you can slide it into position in order to do the strikes that are effective for self-defense. So start with it in your hand. Make sure your hand's mostly open. Don't open it all the way. It's going to go flying. But keep it loose. You're going to go across the body and back. I call this a slapping motion across the face and a backhand coming the other way. You know how to do that one. Your stomach's up and in, abs tight, get your other hand up. You can do the standing or sitting at the edge of the bed, sitting in a chair. This works no matter what. So you're going side to side, bring it back out. When you're ready, side to side again, put it into the other hand and crank it. You want this cranking motion to go slow at first, and then once you get it, go fast. The key is the long side comes out of the thumb side of your hand. If you have it on the inside, it's not going to crank like that. That's a different type of thing. So you crank it this way, across the body and back. Do this at least 30 seconds per hand. And now before you get into the strikes, I want you to put it between your legs, lean into it, and push your hips back. This is senior self-defense. Whether you're a senior or not, it's always good to have more mobility, stronger legs, all the power and the techniques. Everything comes off of the floor through your legs. And if you're sitting in a chair, you can't do this. That's okay. Modify with another type of exercise. But the point is I want you to get your strength up. I want to get the blood flowing. I want to get your heart rate up a little bit. I want you to become fighting fit using your walking cane for self-defense. After you do this for 30 seconds, you can go back to your spinning, and that's a great way to warm up. I do 5 minutes of that in the class here. I teach senior self-defense, how to use your self-defense walking cane. And it's not just seniors, it's disabled vets, disabled persons, and anybody who wants to learn how to defend themselves with a cane, because you can carry it wherever you go. No one can ask you to prove that you need it. But you're just going up and down, and then back to that. That's about 5 minutes now. You're properly warmed up. The first move that I want you to practice is sliding your hand down the front and putting it between you and the thread. So from here, this is your right hand. Slide your right hand down and step into a better position. A better position is defined as having the cane between you and the thread so that they run into this and not into this, right? So from here, I want you to practice thrusting motion. And the thrust, just the elbow going straight, and then a turn of the shoulder to hip, and then a little step with your front foot, like you're fencing. You're stepping, you're adding power into that thrust, and think of using this hard piece of wood right below that hard piece of rubber. It's a hard piece of wood. You're going to stick through his nose, through his teeth, through his throat for self-defense. So you're stopping him in his tracks. Do this for 30 seconds with one hand, then you put it in the other hand. Put that foot forward. Same thing. You need 3 things to stop him, 3 things for stopping power: extension of the arm, rotation through the shoulders and the hips, and then moving. You can see it in the mirror behind me, moving that front foot like you're fencing with a foil. So you're just stepping in and stopping him. Now you're putting it back into your right hand, your right foot's forward. You're going to do the thrust and pull to your shoulder and strike through. You're coming to the temple, to the jaw, to the neck. I just saw watching from Scotland. We were talking this morning with our friend, my wife and I. We were working out with our friend who's a professional bodybuilder, and she's from Scotland, and she was talking about they just got some tickets for $220. And I was reminiscing about the last time I flew into Edinburgh and took a car all the way up north to a castle. I stayed 8 days in the castle for a seminar. It was really fun. But Scotland's beautiful, beautiful country. Beautiful, blustery, cold, but just stark beauty. So from here, you're going to come to your other shoulder and down. Now the key to these strikes is coming off the shoulder. And the reason is if you swing in the air and they close the distance, they jump into you or they rush into you, your arm is going to wrap. Your arm is going to wrap around their body and you're not going to hit them with your cane. If it's in front of you here and they come racing in, they're running into this hard piece of oak. So you're going to strike through here, or you can get it in hickory. This is the Cane Masters self-defense cane. I put a link below. My recommendation, I started with oak. I still train with oak, but my everyday carry now is hickory. Hickory is so much harder and stronger. You can get it in 7/8 inches, so it's a little bit thinner, but it moves so fast and it will break bones. This will compress the flesh and shatter that bone for self-defense. So from this position, right foot forward, striking, 1, 2. Put it in the other hand, practice the thrusting motion, striking from one shoulder and the other shoulder. I always like you to build these combinations of strikes, 1, 2, 3, and allow yourself to go through a full range of motion. What's going to happen is the weight of the cane, your walking cane for self-defense, is going to put pressure on your wrist, and you're going to have to control that strike, but you're going to do that in practice so that when you do it for real for self-defense, you don't lose your cane. You'll have a stronger grip, you'll have more powerful strikes. So you're going in, shoulder, shoulder, put it back into the right hand. Now we're going to add one more set of strikes with this basic pattern. Thrust, angle down, horizontal, horizontal, and finish with a vertical strike coming down. If you can knock him out, you can turn off his operating system, knock him out for self-defense. You don't have to worry about what other weapon he might have. There might be multiple attackers. This is great for senior self-defense, subway self-defense. I've been seeing a lot more attacks on the subways in New York City, big cities here in the United States, especially on the streets of San Francisco, Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore. We can keep going on and on and on. Even where I was born, Columbus, Ohio, is kind of crazy to me. There's so much violence out there from crazy people, criminally insane, and I don't want you to be a victim. I want you to defend yourself, whether you're a senior or not. So put in the other hand, simple thrust, and again, rotation to the shoulders and hips, full extension, shoulder. It has to come off your shoulder. Don't get in the habit of swinging out here. Come off the shoulder. Put it on the shoulder so you know it's coming between you and the threat. Shoulder coming across, horizontal and back. Notice when you come across the body, your palm is up. When you come back, your palm is down. Coming across, straight down on top. And you can finish with another thrust. Put it back in your other hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch. Thrust, angle, angle, horizontal, horizontal, vertical. You can put another hand on it and do a double-handed thrust, which is a very powerful thrust. All of these techniques can also be done sitting on a park bench, sitting on the at the bus station in a chair, sitting on the bus, sitting, waiting for the train, on the subway. You can do these. You can even carry this onto the plane. From here, 1 for self-defense, 2, 3, 4, 5, two-hand thrust. That two-handed thrust, now we're going to switch completely to a different way to hold the cane, and you're going to have the crook facing out. You're going to use this. We're going to say this skinny bag. We got the skinny bag today. We'll say that's his groin area. You're going to pop him right there simply by doing 3 things very quickly. They're super simple. 1 is turning the wrist up. 2 is bending the elbow. And you can see you're adding length and leverage. And 3, the arm. So you're going wrist, arm, upper arm, right? Lower arm, upper arm, and all 3 accelerate. Each one accelerates it faster and faster. And if you miss that, maybe you'll hit him in the chin. Maybe you'll smash his hand, snap him up between the legs. And I want you to take the other hand and simply do a thrust. So from here, snatch it up, push, snap it up, push. And since we're here, I want to talk about 2 canes, because this is senior self-defense. This is self-defense for people who might have mobility issues. You might use a cane to walk with. And so the obvious question would be, well, how can I use it? If you were to pick it up like that, you'd fall to the floor because you have to put your body weight on it. That's where 2 canes can be used. 1 cane to lean on, the other cane to lift him off the ground through his private parts. Snatching up here, thrusting now with one hand. You can still do a very powerful thrust with just one hand instead of two. From this position on the floor, bringing that up and through the head that way, it's very powerful, it's very disruptive. You're gonna stop him from hurting you. Now, if you were using this cane that has that teardrop shape at the end, especially in hickory, bringing this up here, it's going to shatter whatever it hits. Upper arm, into the ribs, into the leg for self-defense. This is a little bit more fancy. Yeah, Garen says, nice canes, thank you. These are both Cane Masters canes. If you want to see what Cane Masters canes are all about, it's the first link below. But that's what these are. These are specifically for self-defense. I wanted to show you though that you can use one cane to lean on, keep your balance, get a lean there. The other cane to defend yourself. Down on top, you can pop it up in this position and punch. Now this becomes a big knuckle, a big fist. That's hammer smashing through the nose, through the teeth, into the throat for self-defense, into the chest, into the solar plexus. You can also use that to reach out and rake the skin. Yeah, Garen says he has one himself, taking the teeth out of his mouth, the nose off of his face, the eyeball out of his, for self-defense. Into his ear, into the flesh of his neck, up into the back, into the ribs, between the ribs, all of those. And you don't have to be exceptionally strong to make that work. You just, from here, slide it up, punch, reach, rip. Strike, reach, rip. Strike, turn, rip. In, turn, and if you have two hands, if you don't need one cane to hold on to, we'll put that on the wall. Thrust, turn. Now you've got a fireman's axe. You got to chop them down the side, right? Rip some stuff for self-defense, and you're able to do this one. Yeah, the United Cutlery, Garen says, those are great canes too. I agree. Sliding up here, I just like the feel of wood, and especially, and I've seen a lot of these. We were in San Diego at the San Diego Zoo, and I kept looking over at this woman. She caught my eye because she had a cane, and immediately I saw it was a Cane Masters cane. And then later the same day, we were at a restaurant, same thing, another person with a Cane Master distinctive. You can tell a Cane Master's cane by the quality and by the shape and the design. But I saw two on a trip, far, thousands of miles from here. I thought that was very fascinating. But you pop it up, you have this thrust, turn, rake, and reach in and pull. So you practice that, sliding it up, stepping with the thrust, turning and striking. You can then take the back side, almost like you're using a Joe staff, a medium-sized martial arts staff, coming in and across the body. You can pull back and thrust with two hands through, coming this way. So from here, if you want to build a combination of strikes, from 1, 2, 3 is the rip, 4 is that backhand punch, 5 is a two-handed thrust coming right through his nose, his eyes, his teeth, his throat for self-defense. The question you ask yourself is, what can you remove or destroy for self-defense? You're thinking his eyesight, his ability to see, his ability, think about the outcomes, right? His ability to breathe temporarily or permanently, his ability to stand up. Maybe from here, the cane just goes right in to that lower leg, right at the knee level. One tip, pro tip. Hello, Studer, it's good to see you. Joints break faster and easier than bones do. So maybe from here, you don't want to go for his head. It makes more sense to take out that knee. And so you come in full force, throw in the other hand, pushing. You can even take it out of this hand, create that tension, and then release the tension, increasing your reach. Maybe he's got a bladed weapon. You don't want to be so close to him. Maybe you're going to have to swing it from this, and instead of using this side to strike with, you use this side, because what happens, you'll feel, is that when you're holding it here, there's more weight now on this end. When you're holding it here, it feels even. But here, that's a levered weight, like an Indian club, right? Or like a Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, right? You're gonna reach in and strike using that part. And as you strike, not only do you have this hard beveled edge, but that reaches in, that's to reach in. You can also, traditional moves, that goes behind the neck. I just felt it go in my ear. That didn't feel good. Stick it in his ear for self-defense. You can go around the neck. you'll see there are a lot of techniques to twist somebody up and take them down, joint locks, pressure points, what are called come-along techniques, but you don't have to get that fancy. When it comes to self-defense, keep it super simple, only go for what works and what you can do without much training and much thought. And then spend all your time that you do train doing basic techniques. Become a master of the basics, and then you'll always be able to defend yourself. Senior self-defense, when you're over 50 years old, 55, 65, retirement age, you got your AARP card in your wallet, doesn't matter, or you might be younger and you have mobility issues, or you just might be smart and you like the idea of an everyday carry self-defense tool that is disguised as a mobility, a health device that the Americans with Disability Act here in the United States says you can carry with you everywhere you go. And the HIPAA laws that we have, the Health Information Privacy Act laws, say that no one can say to you, prove to me that you need. And if you go to that Cane Master site, that first site below, you will see they have a little card there. Just click on the card, look at it. And if you're too cheap to spend whatever it costs, I'm not even sure what it costs anymore, just write it down. Stick that in your wallet. You get the wallet card. Someone comes out and says, hey, why do you need that cane? Prove it. You just pull it out and hand them the card. It has all those front and back, those laws that protect your rights. Your rights. Those are American laws, but their laws are very similar in Europe, especially. So you have these basic motions, thrusting up between the legs, but I want to talk about my favorite strikes, which are always going to be two-handed strikes. And the reason is that they're stronger. It's as simple as you get two hands, you've got to be stronger. So from here, in this position, and I wish I had somebody, I just had a client, he just left, waiting for another one to come in, but we were practicing. He's a very powerful person, very strong, a little bit older, not quite retirement age yet. You know, he's still paying into life insurance, and he's got the house insurance, we've got car insurance, all that, but we're not, you know, I always think of someone's age and I always love talking to people about insurance. How much insurance do you have? Because I believe, you know, a lot of insurance, and I call this my insurance policy. I carry this at or not this one, the one I have in the wall. Let me show you that again. This is the one I carry in my car. That's my car insurance, auto insurance policy. This is my homeowner's, or this is my business insurance policy, right? This is always sits here. Actually, by the door, I have my mallets, my war hammers that Doug sent me from Iowa that are shillelaghs, the shillelaghs. They're the shorter hammer, big ball, gnarly stuff. Similar to this, a hammer on one side and a long stick on the other side. But I joke and call them insurance policies, but it really is what it is. It gives you a little extra protection, right? That's what insurance is supposed to do. But anyway, two-handed strikes. Sorry I digressed so much there. I love talking about insurance. From here, someone puts his hands on you, and if you have a partner, I want you to practice this. Your hand is on your cane, their hands are on your chest. Bring your stick up, put it over their arms so it's on the top of their forearm. Now, some of you have done this, you know exactly what I'm about to do. And nice, yeah. Garen said his cane has the bird's beak like mine. All the nerves that are right there. There are tons of nerves right there. If you were here, I would make sure you felt them. You'd know what they feel like. But you put your hands on them, or they put their hands on you. You take your cane from here. It's very simple, straight up in the air, over the top of their arms, and pull in. And what's going to happen is all that pressure goes into those pressure points and lights that up. And when I say pressure points, I mean nerves, the nerve endings fire. And it feels like their arms are going to break. And if they don't let go, it probably will break, right? But you're smashing it. You might break them coming in so hard. And you're very strong in this motion. This is the motion most of you people use to pull themselves up out of the chair when they have to go to the bathroom at 30,000 feet and you're half asleep flying across the country, and the guy or the girl behind you pulls on the back of your seat to get themselves up so they can walk back to the potty, right? So we all have strong muscles that way. Ioana Hicks says, love the walking cane, use it for protection. Awesome, thanks Ioana. But you bring this up and over, pull it into your chest, and then blast off right through his teeth, right through his nose, right through his eyes, through his throat for self-defense. From here, you now punch right, left, right, just like you're boxing a bag, punching side to side. You hit him with this, you can stick that right and rip it across for self-defense. That's a finishing move, right? That's very effective for self-defense. But it's just this simple. Their hands are here, you put it here, you pull them down. Their hands collapse like this because of the pain and it's just simple force. And everybody's strong enough to make that work against even the strongest person. And then, boom. And even if they only go a little bit, when you release that and you go forward, I don't care how strong their muscles are here. They don't have muscles in their nose, right? They don't have muscles in their teeth. They don't have muscles in their eyes and their throat. You're going straight into that with this hard bar of oak or whichever you have, right? Which foot should be in front with the arnis or kali stick. If you're, it's the same as the cane. So if I'm striking with the right, I'm gonna have the right when I'm coming from the right. This is true for a lot of martial arts styles. From here, when I switch to my left side, coming off my left shoulder, I'm gonna switch my left foot. So I'm gonna have right foot, right, left. If you have two sticks, right, left, right, left, right, left. When you come forward with the left, you bring your left forward. When you come forward with the right, come with the right forward. Now that's a general rule, but you might be moving so fast that you don't worry about your foot so much. As long as your feet are under your body of good footing, you're not gonna fall over, trip yourself. And that's a rule you can follow. Never cross your feet, right? In some styles of martial arts, you'll see they cross and they have different moves. That's more for show, right? There are reasons for that. There are twisting motions that you can do. But when it comes to self-defense, not fancy martial arts, self-defense, try not to ever cross your feet. So if you have to move to the right, step right first. When you have to move to the left, step left first. When you have to go forward, step forward. When you have to go backward, step backward first. I'm going to the left, step left, right, go to the right, right, left, forward, right, left, backward, left, right. That's whichever foot's, and that's just a general rule. And if you follow that, now if you really want to get serious about the Kali Arnis, put an X on the floor or a V if you only have a little bit of tape, or sidewalk chalk's perfect. And then practice your V stepping. So think about stepping up, bring your foot up. Don't do this, but do this. And then come back. When you go to the left, step left, right, and come back. That's stepping up. So you're going to the angle. That's great for all self-defense. And then back into the left, do the opposite. Come back up to the middle, feet squared, back into the right, step up, back left, step up, back right. Practice that. You should do that anyway. I have 4 things that I do as a warm-up for all my self-defense, serious self-defense students who come in, all adults. We go to the left and the right. We do lateral moves to strengthen their feet so they don't roll their ankles, so they don't trip over their feet. You do this motion. The second thing I do is I have a low hurdle, depending on how healthy their legs are, how active they are, and they step up and over, up and over. I can't tell you how many older people that I know who have tripped over a little fluffy dog or a grandkid scurrying about their feet. They fall and they break a hip or a knee or a leg, or they smash they got a black eye. How'd you get that black eye? Oh, my little frou-frou dog was playing around my feet and I tried not to step on him, right? And I tripped and fell. And I had to hit the medical alert button. And I'm joking, but you know, senior self-defense, we got a joke. Step up, because I'm there. And I don't want to be tripping over my feet. So you practice, lift your knees, step over from side to side. That's the second. The first was sliding side to side. The third is that stepping up and back, up and back. And then the fourth is back and up. And these are ways to not get hit. I want you to be hard to hit no matter what style of self-defense you practice. Get hard to hit first, and then get hard to hurt second. Hard to hit, and I know there's a channel called Hard to Hurt, and I call him Icy Mike because he's frisky cold. And he's got great strong opinions. I love watching his channel. I know a lot of you guys have seen that channel. And it's not Ice Mike, it's something like that. But his channel is called Hard to Hurt, and I love that concept. And of course I heard that concept long before, you know, I'm sure we all hear it from other people, right, who comes up with an original idea. Some people do, but we usually take a good idea and make it better after we practice over and over. That's what you and I do. Take a great idea and make it even better. But I want you to get hard to hit first. Make it hard for them to hit you. And then as you're doing that and you're building that skill of moving your body and moving your head and getting out of the way, moving your head with your body, not just your head, right? And not just your body, but moving, get hard to hurt or hit, and then get hard to hurt so that when you do get hit, you learn how to move with it, and you absorb most of the punches. You learn how to cover and move, and how to move, and how to slip, and you know, all that other good stuff. I can't think of my terms right now. Anyway, that's what I want for you, is those four basic footwork, basic strikes, and then principles of self-defense. Number one is always situation awareness. Pay attention to what's happening right now as it's happening. See it before it's a threat. See it before it gets you, right? Get out of there, run, hide, fight if you have to, or run, hide, and then fight when you're ready to fight. That's the last resort. You should never have to get to that. But if it happens to you, be prepared. That's where you have to be hard to hit, hard to hurt. So situation awareness is number one. Number two, put yourself in a better position. Make yourself a smaller target, one foot in front of the other one. If you have a weapon, put it between you and the threat. Number three, you want to ask yourself with a breath. Always take a breath that focuses the mind a little bit, takes a little bit of the nervous, the adrenaline down. Ask yourself, what can you remove or destroy for self-defense? That comes from a great book, and I'll have the link below if it's not there already. It's When Violence is the Answer by Tim Larkin. When Violence is the Answer, it's by Tim Larkin. He describes that whole concept. But basically the idea is, what can you remove or destroy? His ability to see, breathe, you know, all these things. Again, I didn't invent it, not my original idea. I don't know if it's his original idea or if he just took one and made it better, but he explains it really well, and I learned a lot from it. But that's the book, When Violence is the Answer. And then, you know, you're in that better position. That comes from Tony Blauer. You want another great resource? I'll put a link below. Tony Blauer, called The Flinch Block, and just, you know, how to move in a way that you don't get hurt, that you're hard to hurt and you're hard to hit. But then close with and destroy. Once you decide what techniques or what targets you're going to remove or destroy, it's ability to see, breathe, hear, be awake, then it's the rest are simple. Violence of action, right? As hard and as fast as you possibly can. Close with and destroy. And all of these great concepts that come from military training. But you guys have been awesome. I'm going to do a little bit more advice woman. I'll have to come back and read that again. I think you were talking about the injury, specific disc injury, and how you, and the last thing I saw was heavy cane. So the Cane Masters, if you use that link below, you can ask, and they will modify this thing until the end of time with whatever you want. You want your initials on it, you want a design on it, what kind of wood you want. They do all that, what kind of length it is. Most come 36 inches. If you're taller, they can make it a little bit longer. If you're shorter, they make it a little bit shorter. They can explain to you how to size it, all that stuff, Cane Masters link. But you can have it made in hickory in a smaller diameter so that it's a more lightweight option. And I just found out, and I'm gonna check, I think it's also my link below. It says if you wanna get a martial arts weapon, but these, I haven't used this one forever. These rattan canes, they're extremely hard. They move extremely fast. I don't like them as much as this one, but you can still strike extremely hard, but it's a grass. Rattan is a grass, and it's very flexible. You can see that this is not completely straight. They're very inexpensive. You can do a lot of the same techniques. This is gonna move 1,000 times faster because this is more in line with a collie or a knee stick because it's rattan, it's that hard grass. You can hear it a little bit, but these are now back in stock. I have not been able to get these for the last, well, since COVID, but I saw that my martial arts supplier, Century Martial Arts, now has these in stock. I will make sure that link is accurate, but it'll say that in the description. Anyway, you guys have been awesome, and we're gonna do more of these this week. We're gonna finish the year strong. You guys have helped me so much. Thank you so much for all the super thanks. And I know, Doug, you're so generous with that, and Studer's so generous with that. A lot of you have been very generous, giving me the super thanks, and I wanna say thank you very much. I'm really trying to hit a specific number to prove that I can keep this ball of wax rolling. You know, the ball, 30 years I've been doing this stuff, and for 30 years we had grown so big, but that was in Ohio. Since I've started over here, I started the week of COVID, and we were shut down for the first month. And then all the students that I had accumulated before that, like kind of pre-sales, and they were all older, and we're gonna do a lot of Parkinson's boxing and stuff like that, senior self-defense, they never came back because the COVID scared everybody away. So it's been and I don't need anybody's sympathy, but I'm just saying that I'm very grateful when you guys make the contributions in the chat, and then you make the contributions in the super thanks. So thank you very much for those. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. That really helps me. I'd also like to hit, we're close to 100,000 subscribers. I'd love if you could help me share these videos so we can hit that. And that's just a vanity thing. That really doesn't affect the income one way or the other and doesn't keep the lights on. You guys keep the lights on, but just for vanity's sake, you know, so why not? And if we could do that before the end of the year, it's been a long time, a very slow build, which is what we want because we want quality people who are very engaged. And so anyway, so if you guys can share this, like this, do all that other good stuff, and then, you know, just keep the energy going, this global dojo that we're all a part of. I really appreciate your participation in every way that you participate. Nothing in your emails are appreciated. Nothing that you do is not appreciated by me. So I really appreciate that. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in a little bit. Thank you.